You didn't click this by accident. Allah saw how tired you've been pretending to be okay. And this is where He finally gives you permission to let go. 1. Allah saw every tear you hid. You were strong all day, smiling when you wanted to scream, holding doors for strangers, answering messages, laughing at jokes. While inside, something heavy pressed on your ribs like a stone that wouldn't move. No one noticed how every polite nod cost you another ounce of strength. You kept saying, "I'm fine," until the words tasted like dust. Then the house went quiet. The lights dimmed, the notifications stopped, and the mask slipped from your face. You spread your prayer mat on the floor, a small island of safety in a sea of noise, and you lowered your head, forehead touching cloth that still held yesterday's tears. At first there was only silence, the kind that hums in your ears. You tried to speak, but the tongue fell heavy. So the heart spoke instead, beating out its sorrow in trembling pulses. And suddenly the tears came slow at first. Then, all at once, like rain bursting through a broken roof. Do you know what happened in that moment? The earth below you, the one that carries mountains, felt the weight of your sadness and sighed. The air around you grew softer because mercy was descending, layer after layer, gentler than fog. Not a single drop was lost. Each tear rolled from your eye, crossed your cheek, and at the exact instant it left your skin, it was counted, numbered, recorded, lifted to the preserved tablet where nothing fades. The angels who guard you pause their tasks to listen. They are made of light, yet they marvel at a human heart that still crawls back to its Lord, even when shattered. You thought you were alone in a dark room, but the scene reached the throne. And the throne is not bound by distance or time. When a servant bends in sujood, the distance between heaven and earth folds like paper. Your sorrow traveled without sound, faster than any plea carried by the tongue, straight to the one who shaped every nerve that now aches. He saw your shoulders shaking. He saw how long you tried to keep those tears prisoner behind a forced smile. He saw the moment you gave up pretending, and he did not see weakness. He saw honesty, vulnerability, surrender. He saw faith in its rawest form, a battered heart refusing to give up on its creator. The world measures strength by how much you can carry without breaking. Allah measures it by how quickly you run to Him once you have. So, understand this, that collapse you call failure, that is your heart's doorway to divine help. Doors open when walls crack. Some people will tell you to move on, to think positive, to get over it. But Allah never dismissed pain with cliches. He honors it, transforms it, recycles it into something you will one day thank Him for. Every sorrow you release in sujood is a seed. It disappears beneath the soil now, hidden, silent. But inside, roots take hold. And soon a tree will rise, branches heavy with fruit, sweet enough to make you forget the bitterness of waiting. Tonight, while others sleep through their blessings, angels write down the story of your tear on scrolls of light. They note the minute, the place, the exact shape your lips made when you tried to whisper a dua and failed. They carry that record to the heavens, where Allah greets it with more love than you can imagine. Do you know what He does with a tear shed for His sake? He stores it with the gems of the next world. On a day when the sun will hang close and people will drown in worry, those gems will shine like shade and cool water in your hand. So, don't ever believe your pain went unseen. Don't ever let the silence of the moment fool you into thinking the sky was silent too. Every quiver in your voice was louder than thunder where it mattered. Every Ya Rab, you whispered beneath your breath, echoed across realms. And when relief finally arrives, maybe as a gentle thought that calms the chaos, maybe as an unexpected door opening at just the right second, you will look back at this night and understand. The tear that slid off your face traveled farther than any prayer spoken in perfect words. Hold on to that. When fear grips your chest again, remember this room, this mat, this sacred flood. Remember that the Lord who counted those tears is the same Lord writing the next chapter of your life. He did not bring you here to leave you drowning. He brought you here to teach your soul how to swim in His mercy. So breathe, even if it shakes. Let the tears come, even if they blur your vision. Because what spills from your eyes tonight is already weaving joy into your tomorrow, in patterns only Allah can see. And whispered beneath every heartbeat is His promise. I was with you in the darkness, and I am preparing a dawn so bright, you'll forget the night ever frightened you. 2. Stop worrying He heard you the first time. You whispered a single word tonight, and heaven answered before the echo died. Stop worrying, because silence on earth is never silence in the sky. The angels carried your first breath of dua like a royal decree. Your plea raced past galaxies faster than light, looking for its author. Nothing blocked it, nothing delayed it, nothing confused it. Allah does not place your requests in a waiting room. He places them inside a design you are still too close to see. From the moment your lips trembled, a response was preparing itself. You think nothing is happening because you cannot hear the machinery of mercy. That machinery is quieter than snow but stronger than storms. Every heartbeat after your prayer is part of the answer's journey back to you. Worry only creates noise that makes it harder to notice the delivery van of blessings. Trust clears the road. Remember the first time you called your mother's name as a child, it was enough. Your Lord loves you more than she ever could. So one whispered Ya Rab already shook the unseen. If people forget, that is human nature. The Lord of Majesty writes promises in eternal ink. He never misplaces them. Delay is not deletion. It is a perfectly timed sunrise waiting just below the horizon. You do not speed dawn by pacing the room. You welcome it by opening the blinds of your heart. Stop rehearsing disaster in your mind. Start rehearsing gratitude for what is on its way. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every hour to check progress. Faith covers it with soil and waters it with expectation. Your dua is a living seed. Roots are growing in secrets where eyes cannot reach. Those roots will anchor a tree that will one day shade your fatigue. The first tear watered the soil. The second tear softened it further. The third tear invited angels to stand guard over the sprout. So let the garden work. Every gardener knows the quiet days are never empty. Beneath still ground, miracles crack open. A buried seed does not feel forgotten. It feels the warmth of a sun it cannot see yet believes in. Be that seed. Feel the warmth of divine attention surrounding you, even in darkness. Stop measuring worth by immediate fruit. Measure it by the certainty of the orchard keeper. He heard you the first time, and He has never stopped hearing you. Distance is an illusion drawn by impatience. Time is a veil stitched by wisdom. Lift impatience and wisdom will let you glimpse the weaving. You asked for ease. He might send endurance first, because endurance makes ease enjoyable. You asked for love. He might send self-respect first, because self-respect chooses better love later. You asked for success. He might send lessons first, because lessons teach the taste buds of gratitude. Answers often arrive disguised as challenges. If you reject the disguise, you reject the gift. So, Welcome whatever knocks. It may be the wrapping paper around your request. Do not panic if the wrapping feels heavy. Gold bars are heavier than feathers. Value often carries weight. Your first plea is already currency in divine economics. Exchange rates in heaven are beyond calculation. One sincere sigh can purchase oceans of mercy. Stop converting spiritual wealth into worldly clocks. Eternity does not rush. Let the infinite pace your finite days. There is a hidden traffic light between your duga and its appearance. It stays red only until safety is guaranteed. Green will flash when the road ahead can handle the blessing without crashing your soul. Trust the signalman. He sees the crossroads you cannot. Heard the first time means planned the first time. Do not rewrite the script Allah already perfected. Read patiently until the page turns itself. If worry insists on visiting, hand it prayer beads and teach it to remember Allah. Each Subhanallah untangles another knot in your chest. Each Alhamdulillah oils another hinge on the door of relief. Each Allahu Akbar lifts you high enough to spot the convoy of help approaching. Remember Zachariah whispered for a child and was told, "Indeed, I hear you." Remember, Maryam provision appeared when pain peaked beneath the palm tree. Relief often waits at the cliff's edge of endurance. Hold on one breath longer. Let that breath be filled with hope, not fear. Even if your request involves moving mountains, He is the Lord who says, "Be, and it is." So stop asking if He can. Start planning how you will thank Him when He does. Gratitude in advance is faith wearing celebration clothes. Put them on tonight. Dance inside your heart even if your face stays calm. Angels record silent dances louder than drums. Picture the answer smiling at you from tomorrow. Wave back with trust. Think of the day you will tell this story and laugh. Stories need tension. That is why suspense exists. But every suspense in God's authorship ends in mercy. The first line of your duba wrote the final line of your relief. All that remains is the middle chapters, rich, necessary, beautiful. Read them slowly. Savor the ink of destiny. Trust the pen that wrote oceans before you learned to swim. When fear asks, "What if nothing changes?" answer, "What if everything is already changing in secret?" When doubt says, "God forgot," reply, "Memory belongs to humans. Allah simply knows." Knowledge does not forget. Power does not weaken. Mercy does not expire. Your plea sits within mercy like a pearl inside an oyster, hidden, protected, growing. Stop breaking the shell with anxiety. Let time open it gently. Pearls need darkness, pressure, and patience. So does the brilliance of an answered prayer. Stand by the shore of your life and watch waves. No wave repeats itself, yet the sea never fails to return. Your blessings are waves scheduled on divine tide tables. Trust high tide. Meanwhile, collect shells of small joys along the beach. 3. The one who never sleeps recorded your pain. You thought no one saw you. That night, when everything inside you collapsed quietly, no calls, no messages, no knock on your door, just silence, and the sound of your heart aching in places you didn't even know existed. But there was one who never sleeps, one who never leaves, one who doesn't need to ask how you're doing because He already knows. He watched it all. Every breath that shook, every moment your chest caved in, every time you looked up at the ceiling trying not to break. He saw it. And He didn't just see it. He recorded it. He preserved your pain in a book that never loses a page. Even when you were too tired to cry, too numb to feel, too afraid to pray. He was there, sitting with your silence. You think pain is invisible, but in the unseen world, your brokenness shined like a light, a bright flare rising from your soul, and the angels turned to look. Because Allah loves when His servant returns to Him, especially when it's from the deepest, darkest corner of the heart. Every time your hands trembled in dua, every time your voice cracked and you had to stop and breathe, He recorded that too. He documented your effort, your struggle, your pain, and not a single second went unnoticed. You're not forgotten. You're not invisible. You're not crying into a void. You are seen by the one whose vision never fades, by the one who watches over every leaf that falls, every heartbeat in a womb, every tear that slips down a face at 2:11 a.m., and yours was no exception. He is Al-I, the ever-living, Al-Qayyum, the one who sustains everything, even when everything in you feels like it's falling apart. While the world sleeps, your Lord is still writing, still planning, still watching over you like the most protective guardian. And He doesn't watch the way people watch. He watches with mercy, with love, with purpose. He watches you grow in ways you don't even see yet. He watches the way your soul bends but doesn't break. He watches the way you still whisper, Ya Rab, even when you're not sure what you're asking for anymore. He records every step you take through heartbreak, every silent battle you fight when no one checks in. Every breath you take when you want to give up is documented in light, and it's not forgotten in the heavens. When you whisper a dubra in the dark, and there's no one responding but your own echo, He responds with something better. Maybe not in words, maybe not in a way you can see right now, but in ease, in unseen help, in strength you didn't know you had until it was needed. When the world turns its back, your Lord turns closer. When your energy fades, He pours something divine into your soul. When your eyes blur with tears, His mercy sharpens the vision of your future. And you might say, "But I didn't even ask Him out loud." You didn't have to. He hears the heart before it speaks. He sees the wound before you name it. He soothes the storm before you even understand it's forming. Because He is not just the healer of wounds you can see. He is the one who heals grief when it has no words, who comforts pain that was never shared, who stays when everyone else walks away. Your Lord doesn't sleep. He doesn't miss moments. He doesn't forget who you are when you're at your lowest. He doesn't wait for you to be perfect before He cares. He cared the moment your heart started hurting. Right now, you might be scrolling through your thoughts, trying to understand how you got here. But Allah already knows. He's not asking why you broke. He's preparing what will come from it. Nothing escapes His notice. Even the way you turn over in bed tonight, trying to find peace in the folds of your blanket. Even that is seen, felt, recorded. And one day, when you're stronger, when you're smiling again, when peace replaces pain, you'll look back and realize nothing was wasted. Every moment of heartbreak became a brick in your strength. Every night you cried became a seed for your future joy. And every second you felt alone was actually filled with angels and the closeness of a Lord who never stopped watching over you. So tonight, breathe. Let the pain exist. Let the tears come if they must. But no, you're not breaking in the dark. You're being rebuilt under the watchful, loving, eternal care of the one who never sleeps. For the delay is tailor-made relief. You think waiting means being ignored. But waiting can be perfect timing. Allah doesn't stall. He synchronizes. Every delay is a calibration of blessings. Like a clockmaker aligning gears, He aligns hearts, moments, and circumstances. If He delivered too early, the gift might crumble in your unready hands. Better to arrive whole than to arrive fast. Rain that rushes can drown the seedlings. Rain that waits will nourish them. Your dubra is a seed under soil. Darkness does not mean death. It means preparation. Roots sprout in hidden places first. Strength grows where eyes cannot see. You panic because the surface looks empty. He smiles because the underground is alive. Patience is the shovel that uncovers miracles. Imagine opening a rosebud by force. You would destroy the petals. Allah lets it bloom gently, each layer unfolding with purpose. So He pauses certain pages of your story until the ink is dry on the lessons you need. He withholds to protect. He withholds to prepare. He withholds to upgrade the request into something safer, wider, and sweeter. Think of Yusuf in prison. Years felt wasted to him, but every sunrise behind bars was polishing the crown he would wear. Think of Musa drifting as a baby. The river seemed dangerous, yet it carried him straight into destiny. Delays can feel like detours, but they are often express lanes to places you never mapped. Allah sees the traps ahead. He slows your steps, so the trap closes empty, and you glide past unharmed. A child cannot lift a sword. A heart untrained cannot lift big blessings. Delay is training muscle memory in your soul. Every no today teaches you to hold tomorrow's yes with wisdom. Every closed door teaches your knuckles how to knock on better ones. You dream small when you are tired. He lets you rest, then shows you a horizon you missed. Your timeline is a hallway of locked rooms. Allah holds the master key. When the right door opens, it will feel effortless, like stepping into sunlight after a long tunnel. But tunnels have purpose. They carve passage through mountains. Without them, you would face cliffs. Waiting is tunneling through resistance. Every sigh is a pickaxe striking stone. Every sujood, under tears, is dynamite clearing hard rock. Trust the echo down there. It means you are getting closer to open air. Delay is not a prison. It is a workshop. Hammer sounds are loud, but they mean construction, not chaos. If He breaks the journey, it is to avoid a collision you can't see. Think of traffic lights. Red is frustrating, but green without safety is disaster. Allah times the colors perfectly. When life feels on pause, remember the stoplight's wisdom. You are watching seconds. He is orchestrating centuries. Some blessings need other people's hearts ready too. He synchronizes everyone's clock, so the meeting is flawless. Like stars forming constellations, distance and timing create meaning. You stare at one star and feel alone. He sees the big picture. Delay draws lines between them. Suddenly the sky spells guidance. Remember the oven. Raw dough complains about heat, not knowing cake glory awaits. Your waiting room is preheating promise. Walls may feel hot now, but the rise is coming. Allah tempers metal with fire, tempers faith with stillness. Stillness teaches you to hear Him. Noise of haste would drown His soft guidance. Delay turns down the volume of the world and turns up the whisper of Quran. Listen to verses repeating patience. They are lullabies for restless souls. Shaitan markets panic, but Allah sells peace at the same price. Trust. Purchase wisely. Tell your heart, settle, my Lord plans with precision. Worries scatter like birds when they hear the azan of certainty. Show gratitude before the gift appears. Gratitude is a magnet. Say, Alhamdulillah, inside the weight, and the weight will glow. Angels record sabr with golden ink. Pages of patience weigh heavy on the scale. Delay is bonus weight for Judgment Day. You gain even when you feel you're losing. Imagine you found your answer yesterday. Maybe arrogance would have grown. Allah clips the bud of pride by letting humility take root first. Time is soil for humility. Humble soil holds more rain of mercy. So he delays to deepen you. Depth makes you a reservoir that can water others later. Your story will quench someone else's thirst. Your delay will become their proof of hope. Every testimony starts with waiting. Prophets waited. Ayub for healing, Zachariah for a child, Muhammad Sallam for victory. You stand in noble company. Wear patience like a badge. Patience is not passive. It is active faith lifting weights. When you feel tired, remember, muscle grows in rest days. Spiritual muscles too. The gym of delay builds unseen strength. One day you will lift blessings easily. You will smile and say, had it come sooner, I would have dropped it. Allah knows your current grip. He sizes the blessing to your growth. Growth takes seasons. Seasons honor cycles. Winter hides sap. Spring breaks ground. Summer ripens fruit. Autumn releases leaves. Your life follows that rhythm. Delay can be winter. Quiet, cold, apparently barren. But sap is moving inside. Spring will crack the shell. The shell thinks breaking is death. Not knowing it is birth. You will step out and whisper, every second of waiting was tailor-made relief. 5. Pain is forging the unbreakable you. You feel pain like fire against fragile glass. But fire is not always a destroyer. Sometimes it is a furnace, a place where weak metal transforms. Every ache you feel is heat. Every tear is molten iron. Allah is the blacksmith of souls. He places you in the flame with care, not to burn you, to strengthen you. Glass shatters under heat, but steel learns to glow. Your heart is becoming steel. Pain hammers it on the anvil. Each blow sounds cruel, yet each strike flattens fear and folds courage inside the core. You say, why me? The hammer answers, so you last. You say, it hurts. The anvil replies, hold still. Buried impurities rise to the surface. They bubble away like foam, leaving clean metal beneath. Trials scrape away arrogance. Hardships polish humility. Scratches become shine. Cracks become patterns. The sword of a warrior bears scars. Those lines tell stories of battles. Your soul is that sword. Allah is engraving verses upon it. Fire alone cannot finish you. Water quenches after flame. Sudden coolness seals new strength. Your tears are that water. Each tear cools glowing metal, tempering it against future storms. Feel the hiss. That is pain meeting mercy. Steam rises as a sign of healing. Angels witness the process. They record the temperature of your faith. Higher heat, higher rank. Do not envy untested hearts. They shine quickly and fade faster. You are built for endurance. Diamonds form under pressure. Coal never understands at first. Darkness presses from all sides. Yet within, crystals start aligning. Your ribs are mines of resilience. Pain digs deep tunnels, bringing hidden jewels to light. You thought you were empty rock. Allah knew you were diamond ore. So He allowed pressure, not forever, only until sparkle emerges. Hear the crack inside. That is limitation breaking. Space opens for new glory. Mountains rise from tectonic clash. Valleys bloom beside them. Your peaks and valleys are paired. Highs will taste higher, because lows taught appreciation. The Prophet bled at Taif, yet angels offered the mountains. He chose mercy over revenge. That mercy began in wounds. Pain opened a path to greatness. Your mission may birth the same way. Wounds teach what comfort forgets. They teach empathy. They teach resolve. They teach reliance on Allah alone. Gold must be mined, melted, purified. You are rarer than gold. Expect deeper refining. Think of a bowstring. It must be pulled back to launch. The farther it is drawn, the farther the arrow flies. Your setbacks are drawbacks. Your future leap depends on tension now. Trust the archer. He knows distance and target. He stretches without snapping. Silk is spun from struggle of a worm. A cocoon feels like a grave, yet wings unfold inside the tomb. One morning the shell splits. Beauty enters the sky. You are in cocoon hours. Darkness cramps. Movement is hard. But design is happening silently. Feathers of purpose gather on your back. Soon air itself will help you. Water tastes sweetest after thirst. Relief feels richest after trial. Allah wants you to savor the gift fully. So He seasons your taste with hardship. He seasons your eyes with tears. So joy will look brighter. He seasons your ears with silence. So guidance will sound clearer. Pain is the tutor no soul wants. But every prophet studied with it. Musa feared speaking. Pain of speech became miracle of words. Yusuf faced dungeon nights. Pain of chains became key to throne. Maryam felt alone beneath palm tree. Pain of labor became cradle of Isa. Your lineage is heroic. Your agony is curriculum. Syllabus written by the most wise. Classes held in midnight halls. Exams graded by angels of mercy. Each correct answer is patience. Each extra credit is gratitude. You are passing more than you fail. Heaven cheers, unseen. They chant your name between tasbih. They watch you lift weights of sorrow. Every rep builds paradise muscles. Gardens prefer gardeners with calloused hands. So they place tools of trial in yours. The handle feels rough now. Soon roses will bloom wherever you step. Do you smell soil after rain? It carries promise of growth. Tears water that soil. Your heart is the garden. Allah sends clouds of pain. They pour exactly enough. Never floods beyond limit. Never droughts beyond need. The Quran says, with hardship comes ease. Not after, but with. Ease travels inside the hardship, like seed inside fruit. You must slice open the pain to taste ease. Let the knife be sabr. Cut carefully. Observe sweetness hidden in pulp. Even bitterness has vitamins. Remember, camel carries burden across desert. Humps store water unseen. Your faith stores unseen reserves. Pain draws from that reserve, but never empties it, because Allah replenishes quietly. You are stronger than your fear, because your Maker is stronger than both. The sun appears harsh at noon, yet goldsmiths need high heat. Allah times flames to minute, not 1 second too long, not 1 degree too high. Trust his thermometer, trust his timer. He is closer than jugular vein. He counts heartbeats of distress, and he counts heartbeats of relief coming. Look at scars after healing. They remind but no longer hurt. They testify, you survived. They witness Allah's care. Someday you will trace today's wounds and smile. You will say, this line built my patience. This bruise built my resilience. This fracture built my vision. Pain carves windows where walls existed. Light enters through cracks. Hope dances on dust particles. Your room of sorrow becomes a gallery. Paintings of perseverance hang on walls. Guests will admire them. They will ask your secret. You will whisper, Allah forged me here. And you will thank the fire. Fire that could not melt your faith, only molded it. The unbreakable you will rise. Sound of chains falling will echo. Angels will fold them into garlands. They will crown your head with them. And the throne will welcome a soul, tempered by pain, unbreakable by design. 6. Your heaviest night heralds a dawn only angels know. There are nights that feel endless, where silence is too loud, where time drags like a weight across your chest, and you lie awake, not from energy, but because the pain refuses to let you sleep. You turn your face to the pillow, as if hiding your tears makes them lighter. You flip the blanket again, as if warmth can replace the ache in your chest. But nothing changes. You're still there, eyes wide open in the dark, wondering if you're losing yourself in this weight, this silence, this storm that nobody else seems to see. It's in this kind of night where Allah sends his most hidden miracles, not loud, not flashy, but subtle, quiet, divine. Your heaviest night isn't a punishment. It's an arrival, a checkpoint, a gate between who you were and who Allah is preparing you to become. The angels, they know. They circle low on these nights. They listen for your breath, your whispered Ya Allah, your silent dua that trembles between faith and fear. They watch the heartbreak. They record the sujood done in silence, when even your tongue was too tired to speak. They write, this servant didn't give up. This servant chose sabr. This servant said Alhamdulillah through tears. And Allah sees. He doesn't just watch from above. He draws closer in these moments than you've ever known. Closer than despair. Closer than the darkness wrapping around you. Closer than your own pain. You think this night is breaking you, but in the unseen world, it's birthing something. You just can't see it yet. Because the soul grows in silence. It expands in solitude. It reaches its highest point when you are on your lowest floor, face pressed into the carpet, crying like a child to the one who has never abandoned you. The angels hear what no one else hears. The way your heartbeat stutters, the way you beg for relief without words, the way you hold yourself from screaming. They hear it. They carry it upward, and Allah answers in a language deeper than sound. No dubra made on nights like this is ever lost. None. Sometimes, a night like this is when Allah rewrites your entire future. Not because you're worthy, but because you finally broke enough to receive it. You see, broken things are easier to fill. A shattered cup holds more rain than a tight jar. And your heart tonight, cracked, raw, exposed, is finally open enough to receive a blessing that pride and comfort once blocked. There's a dawn coming, A dawn only angels have seen. A dawn your soul already recognizes, like a home it forgot. But first, the night must weigh heavy, because diamonds aren't formed in light. They're formed under pressure, in silence, in time. You are being refined tonight. Not rejected, not forgotten, refined. Your heaviest night is when your dua pierces the sky the fastest, not because of eloquence, but because of desperation. And desperation is beloved to the one who answers the broken, who responds to the distressed when he calls upon him. Allah asked this in the Quran, not because he doesn't know, but so that you'd remember. He does. You might not feel it now, but this night will pass. And when it does, you'll look back and realize that moment you wanted to give up was the moment your name was mentioned above. It's strange how the hardest nights carry the most reward, how the quietest cries shake the throne, how the most broken prayers become the most accepted. Do not curse this night. Do not wish it away. It is doing something holy inside of you, something no comfort could teach, no easy day could shape. Allah is teaching you the language of submission, not through words, but through waiting, through stillness, through faith so raw it bleeds. When dawn comes, you may not even realize it, because the peace will descend so softly, so slowly, you'll think it was always there. But you'll notice the weight in your chest is lighter, the thoughts quieter, the du'as flow smoother, and suddenly you understand. That night didn't break you. It delivered you. It built you. It softened you in the exact places that had hardened. It cracked open the soil of your soul, so Allah could plant something new. The version of you who emerges from this night will carry a deeper strength, a quieter trust, a heavier heart but full of clarity. So if tonight is hard, if you're reading this through blurred eyes, if you're alone, unsure, exhausted and numb, please hear this. You are not forgotten. You are not ignored. You are not being punished. You are being trusted with a test that only a soul like yours could carry. And the angels are already preparing the light. The kind of light you don't find in this world. The kind of light that only reaches those who didn't give up in their darkest night. So hold on, one breath at a time, one whispered Ya Allah at a time. Because when that dawn comes, and it will, you'll look back and say, that night was heavy, but what Allah gave me after it was worth every silent tear. And the angels will nod in silence, because they already knew. 7. You found this message because Allah wants you to breathe again. You didn't just stumble on this message. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. This video found you at this exact moment because Allah wanted it to. You could have scrolled past. You could have closed the app. You could have been distracted. But you're still here, reading, listening, because deep down your soul knew there's something here for you. A whisper meant only for your heart, not for the version of you that puts on a smile in the daytime, not for the version of you that says, I'm fine, when you're anything but for this version, the one watching alone at night, in silence, with tired eyes, and a heart that's been quietly falling apart. Allah brought you here because you forgot how to breathe, not with your lungs, but with your soul. You've been holding your breath for so long, afraid to exhale, afraid to let go, afraid that if you stop holding it together, everything will come crashing down. But this is the moment where Allah says, breathe, I'm still here. and I never left. This is not just a video, it's a life raft. It's a divine rope thrown into your storm. A reminder that the one who created your lungs doesn't just want you to exist. He wants you to live, to breathe again, to feel again, to believe again. You see, you've been surviving for too long, moving through your days like a shadow, numb to joy, disconnected from hope. You pray, but you don't feel it. You smile, but your eyes don't join in. You sleep, but you don't rest. You eat, but your soul stays hungry. You've been stuck in a loop, playing a role, pretending it's all okay, just so the world doesn't ask questions you don't know how to answer. But Allah sees through all of that, straight past the outer shell and deep into the trembling core. And what does He do? Does He punish you for growing distant? Does He scold you for becoming numb? No. He sends you this. He speaks gently. He whispers through this screen, "My beloved servant, I see the heaviness you carry. I see the prayers you barely whisper anymore. I see the faith you're trying so hard to hold on to. And I want you to know, I'm not angry with you. I miss you. Come back." You found this message because Allah is calling you without words. He's reaching through your weariness to touch the one place in you that still remembers Him, the part of you that never stopped believing, even when the rest of you broke. And that matters, because even the smallest flicker of faith is enough for Allah to light an entire path back to Him. You didn't get here by chance. You didn't get here because of a YouTube algorithm. You got here because the Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. I saw a moment in your timeline where you'd need a reminder that feels like oxygen, so He brought it to you, right on time. Not a second too early, not a second too late. He wanted you to know you're not too far gone. You're not too broken. You're not too tired. You're just human. And humans lose themselves sometimes, but they are always welcome to come home to Allah. So breathe again, even if it's shaky, even if it's slow, even if it still hurts. Let your chest rise, not just with air, but with hope. Hope that Allah hasn't written you off. Hope that what you lost is not greater than what He's still preparing. Hope that the days ahead don't have to look like the days behind. Yes, you've made mistakes. Yes, you've wandered. Yes, you've let people break you. Yes, you've let yourself break you. But tonight, you begin again. Not by doing something grand, not by making 100 du'as, but just by breathing with the intention to return, to try, to hope again. Allah doesn't ask for perfection. He asks for effort, for presence, for sincerity, even if your voice trembles, even if your thoughts are a mess, even if you've been absent for years. This moment right here, it counts more than you realize. Because if you were truly abandoned, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't feel this ache. You wouldn't long for a sign, but you do. And that longing, it's mercy. It's Allah's invitation in disguise. The ache you carry is not your enemy. It's a map, a divine map, pointing you back to your Rabb. So breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tightness in your chest loosen. Let the thoughts slow down. You don't have to solve everything tonight. You just have to return. Return to your mat. Return to your dua. Return to your Lord. Not because you're whole, but because you're broken, and He loves you anyway. You see, the pain you carry is not here to crush you. It's here to redirect you. Every trial is a whisper. Come back, you're drifting. And every time you come back softer, wiser, more alive. So don't resist this message. Don't ignore what your heart is feeling right now. This isn't just content, it's a call. And the one calling you knows your name, knows your wounds, knows your worth, even when you forget it. And maybe, just maybe, this is the beginning of the healing you've been praying for, the shift you didn't know you needed, the breath your soul has been begging for. Allah brought you here to remind you of one simple, beautiful truth. I still love you, I still see you, and I still want you. Now, breathe. You're safe to start again. And this time, you won't be walking alone. 8. Let heaven carry what you can't tonight. You've carried too much for too long. And now, your hands are trembling. Your back aches from burdens no one sees. Your chest feels like it's been holding in a scream for years. You keep telling yourself, just a little more, I can do this, I have to be strong. But strength doesn't mean never breaking. It means knowing when to surrender. And tonight, Allah is asking you to surrender. Not to life, not to people, not to failure, but to Him, the one who never asked you to carry all of this alone. Let go, not because the pain disappeared, not because the world changed, but because your soul has reached its edge. And what comes next isn't about effort, it's about trust. You've been holding so tightly to people who let go of you, to timelines that shattered, to hopes that dried up in your hands. But you were never meant to carry it all. There's a reason sujood is so low. It's so you can drop everything. Right there, right on the ground, at the feet of the one who lifted mountains without struggle. Why are you trying to lift emotional mountains with your bare heart, when Allah is offering to carry them for you? Tonight is not for pretending. Tonight is not for pushing. Tonight is for placing. Place the pain, place the confusion, place the fear. Gently, silently, with whatever words you have left. Place it in His hands. Let heaven carry what you can't. Allah is not disappointed in your weakness. He created it, so you would always know where to return. So you would never be expected to handle this dunya on your own. Look at your hands. They're not just tired. They're full of unmet expectations, full of crushed dreams, full of unanswered questions. Now imagine placing each one in the lap of Ar-Rahman. Gently, one by one, feel your fingers unclench. Feel your arms fall heavy with relief. Feel your soul finally breathe. You weren't made to hold the weight of the world. That's why Allah never asked you to. He only asked for one thing. Give it to me. Give me your sadness. Give me your confusion. Give me your loneliness. Give me the heartbreak that's too fresh to even describe. And watch what I do with it. The pain that's breaking you, it's being reassembled into strength you'll carry for the rest of your life. The tears that burned your pillow, they're being stored in heaven as proof that you trusted Him even when it hurt. There's no reward in this world greater than the peace Allah sends after surrender. Not success, not applause, not even healing, just peace. That soft, silent knowing that you're held, that you're seen, that you're no longer carrying this alone. Some burdens are invisible, the ones people never ask about, the ones you've buried so deep, you've forgotten how much they still affect your smile. But Allah hasn't forgotten. He still sees the knot in your chest, He still hears the things you haven't said out loud. And he still welcomes it all. No filter, no performance, no perfection required. Just honesty. Even if that honesty sounds like, Ya Allah, I can't take this anymore. Ya Allah, I'm so tired. Ya Allah, please, help me breathe again. Even that is a dubra, and it is beloved, because when a servant breaks and still crawls back to Allah with nothing but fragments, the heavens rejoice. Tonight, you don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to plan the next step. You don't need to fix anything. You only need to do one thing. Let go. Let the angels carry it. Let the heavens record it. Let your tears deliver what your lips no longer can. Cry in sujood. Not because it will change everything outside of you, but because it will change everything within you. When your forehead touches the ground, your burdens rise above the sky, and what is heavy in your chest becomes light in the hands of the one who never sleeps. You've been saying, I'm okay, for too long, but Allah already knows that you're not, and He still loves you. He still wants you, and He still whispers, give me what hurts. Don't carry what I already promised to hold for you. You may not see relief tomorrow. You may still walk through a few more storms, but you won't be walking alone. You'll walk lighter, softer, with heaven beside you, carrying what you no longer have to. You're not a failure. You're a soul in progress, a heart in healing, a servant being reshaped for something greater. The pain was not punishment. It was permission. Permission to put down the weights you never should have picked up alone. You didn't come here to get advice. You came here to hear permission. So here it is. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to let go. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to break, because breaking is what leads to bowing. And bowing is where the healing begins. So tonight, let the angels take what you can't carry anymore. Let Allah hold what your hands have no strength left to grasp. Let the mercy rain upon your chest and wash away what you've been hiding from everyone else. Because Allah saw it. He always did. And tonight, He's telling you one thing. Let me take it from here. Ya Allah, this soul is tired. They've carried what no one else could see. But tonight, they placed it in your hands. So wrap them in your mercy. Let them sleep in peace. And when they wake, let them feel how deeply you've always loved them. You didn't watch this by mistake. You were meant to, because Allah never forgets the ones who cry to Him in secret.